What a great night of fights in Chicago. This is Steve Jewin from MMAmania.com, from WrestlingObserver.com. You may have also heard me on the Sherdog Radio Network this week. I did an excellent preview of UFC on Fox 16 with Jeremy Botter, Patrick Wyman, and of course the host, Jack Encarnacio. But enough of the jibber jabber, let's get right down to business. 4 fights on free television for the main card this evening, led off at the main event with the Bantamweight title defense for TJ Dillashaw, who looked absolutely stellar in the rematch with Renan Barao, beat him even more decisively than he did in the first fight, finished it a round earlier, 35 seconds into the 4th round, just left him standing there eating shots until finally, mercifully, Herb Dean had to step in and make the save. It was an amazing performance. Well done, TJ Dillashaw, proving he is the undisputed Bantamweight champion by beating Renan Barao decisively twice. Co-main event, Miesha Tate and Jessica Eye. Tate has proved that she deserves one more chance at Ronda Rousey. She had a very crisp striking game. She also supplemented that with excellent ability to just keep Jessica Eye at range and use a takedown when necessary to finish out a round. And Jessica Eye just didn't seem to have good angles. Once she got rocked in the first round, that really changed the whole fight. She was doing pretty well jabbing up to that point, but once she got rocked, it seemed to expose the holes in her game. Her angles weren't there. Tate was clipping her routinely with an overhand right and just dominated her on the ground whenever she got there and just put elbows to her head over and over again. So this is the new improved Miesha Tate and will be a handful for Ronda Rousey, who is still the best women's bantamweight in the world, but Miesha Tate is definitely right there at the top with her. It may just go down in history that Miesha Tate will never get past Ronda Rousey, but if so, she can still claim to be the second baddest woman on the planet. Underneath that, Edson Barboza and Paul Felder spun around over and over again, throwing everything they could at each other, and Edson Barboza was able to get the unanimous decision, 3 straight 29-28s from all the judges, and well-deserved because his striking was the more accurate and more effective of the two. Paul Felder was undefeated coming into this fight. He has a lot of flash, he has a lot of potential, but he just couldn't do anything about the kicks. As I predicted on the Sherdog Radio Network, Edson Barboza chewed him up with those kicks. You could see the welts all up and down his body. The opener, Joe Lauzon defeated Takanori Gomi, who is definitely past his prime at this point. TKO'd him on the ground to the point where Lauzon just simply stood up and walked away and said, he's done. The fight hadn't even been waved off. Lauzon waved it off himself, and the referee did not disagree. Let's go through these prelims really quickly. Filthy Tom Lawlor beat Gian Villante 27 seconds into the second round with a sweet punch that just totally floored him, left him unable to continue. He got up wobbly. It was already over. It was a good stoppage. Jim Miller beat Danny Castillo, split decision, 28-29, 29-28, 30-27. 2 out of 3 judges saw it for Miller. Killer B, Ben Saunders, also got the split decision over Kenny Robertson, 29-28 and 29-28 for him, and 29-28 for Robertson. No doubt in the Bryan Caraway fight, Eddie Wineland is definitely also, like Takanori Gomi, a little past his prime at this point. So 29-28 times 2 and 30-27 for Caraway, who was very effective in this bout. Prelims, James Krause beat Daron Cruickshank with a rear naked choke, and a sweet one at that, because he just overwhelmed Cruickshank on the ground and quick, lightning quick. So once he got that hook in and got the rear naked choke underneath his neck, that was a wrap. 127 in the first round. Holbrook beat Nijem by a split decision, 2 29-28s in his favor, 129-28 for Nijem. Elizabeth Phillips left no doubt, 29-28s across the board for her against Jessamyn Duke, and Zach Cummings beat Dominique Steele 43 seconds into the first round by TKO.